Hey there guys, welcome to the next video here on the channel. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make the duct tape flip wallet, which I showed in the last update video. It's going to be a pretty cool tutorial, so let's get started here on making the duct tape flip wallet. So the first thing you're going to do is going to cut out 4 strips of tape that are 5 inches long each. And as you can see, I'm using the Hot Rod Flame duct tape for this. You're going to stick the first 2 together just like that. You're going to take your third one, and we're going to be making a sheet that is 3 inches high. So you want to take either a measuring board if you have one like this, or a ruler, and you're just going to apply the third strip to make the sheet 3 inches high. So we got like that. Let's take our 4th strip here, and then cover up the rest of the sticky side that's showing on the bottom just like that. So we're actually going to be making 2 more of these, so take a few more strips and you're going to be making 2 more of these exact pieces, because the flip wallet actually has 3 of these parts that flip each way, so we're going to be making 3 total. So take the steps, the tape, and then do that right now. So once you have your 3 pieces, make sure they're all identical. Do any little trimming if you need to. Take 2 of them. You're going to cut out 2 more strips of tape that are 5 inches long each. Going to take your first strip, lay these 2 flat directly on top of each other like this. Take your 5-inch strip, put half of it on this top piece, half of it on the surface that you are working on. Flip the whole thing over, make sure that the piece is once again lined up, and then fold this piece back around and stick it down like that. Now you have the backbone of the flip wallet. Now we have to put the centerpiece in. So you're going to take your third flip piece that you made. Here's your second 5-inch strip. You're going to take that and you're going to cut it directly in half just like that. Take half of this piece and you want to line up directly in the center so it's right there. Put about half of it on this sheet, half of it on the one on the bottom. Flip the whole thing over like this, and then obviously you are going to take this piece, and if I can get that off my finger, there we go, and you're going to connect it on this side as well, just like that. So now you have the entire backbone of your flip wallet. You have those 2 pieces on the side, the front and the back, as well as that piece in the middle, which should flip back and forth just like that. So now let's start working on the things inside the wallet. So before we get started on the inside, you'll notice that the edges of the flip wallet are actually rounded because of the tape that's stuck around the edges, but we don't actually worry about that until the very end of the tutorial, so we won't have to worry about that yet. Right now we're going to work on the credit card holders on the inside, and for my flip wallet I have them on the left part of the very front piece here. So to do that, we actually have to make them vertical because they're not going to fit in there any other way. So you're going to cut out 3 strips of tape that are a little over 3 inches long, and it's really just to be a little bit shorter than the credit card here. I have my Busch Gardens pass to simulate a credit card. And we're just going to stick those first 2 together just like that. You're going to take your last a little over 3-inch strip, you're going to cut it in half, and then this is just going to serve as the expansion for this piece here. So I got a little bit before the piece up there, and we're going to expand it a little bit past that piece because we don't want it so tight we can't slip the credit card into it. So we got that extension on there with the sticky side. We take our second piece, which we cut in half, and then cover up the rest of that part there. So that essentially makes our credit card. So now we just need to stick, a piece on this side, piece on this side, piece on the bottom, and we'll just stick the pocket right into our flip wallet right there. Okay, so now I have that credit card holder stuck in there. I have it stuck on the sides and on the bottom. If you want to put multiple credit card holders in, remember, always start at the top and then build those other credit card holders on top of that as you go down, because you don't want to start at the bottom, work your way up. You'll be covering up the credit card holders as you go up. I didn't go into too much detail on how to make the credit card holder, but I do have them in a lot of other videos, so you guys want to check it out. They're all pretty much exactly made the same way. You just make that strip of tape and then attach it on all 3 sides, leaving the top for the slipping the card holder in, and then you pretty much have your credit card holder. So that's what I did on the left side. The middle part here I actually made an ID slot, so I'm going to briefly show you how to do that. It's also something that I've been showing you guys how to do in several other videos, so I'm going to touch briefly on that, and then we'll work on the most important part, which is the money part, which is going to be back here. So let's get started on the ID holder next. So for the ID holder, you just put that clear plastic that you have there in the center, and like I said before, not going into too much detail with this because I've done it in several other videos, but you just stick small pieces of tape to cover around the entire side of that, overlapping onto the plastic a little bit, probably about a little less than 1/4 of an inch. So like I said, you've got that plastic in the center. And it doesn't look like much now, but I'm actually going to stick it in here and you'll see exactly how it works. Just align it where we want it, right here. That's where I'm going to put it. And obviously this part is just sitting on top of the tape. There's no sticky part expanding over the type of the plastic up there, so I don't have to worry about that. You guys may be worried about the other pieces of tape that are overlapping off of the flaps onto different flaps. It really doesn't make too much difference as long as you stick it down well and and keep folding it to get used to being folded back and forth. It should be, just fine as long as you keep folding it back and forth and getting it used to being nice and flexible and going back and forth like that. So obviously we have our clear plastic in the center there. I'll show you what the card looks like inside there. If I can get it in, just like that. So there we have the ID holder. So that concludes this part and this part over here for the ID holder. Actually, it looks kind of nice in there, like a picture. But anyway, so now we're going to work on this part, which is the money part. I did leave this part open on my other flip wallet here for whatever you want to do. I'm actually going to leave that open on here as well, so you guys want to put like a coin pouch or a business card holder or whatever you want. I'm going to leave that open to you, whatever you want to do, and you guys can come up with something cool for that. So now let's work on the band that goes over top of the money, which you can see here in my flip wallet, and then that'll pretty much wrap it up as soon as we put a tape around the sides to round the edges a little bit. So let's work on that part right now. Alright, so our first step in this part is to actually make the pocket that the back of the money slips into. So what we're going to do is make a pocket that's a little bit bigger than the money. Now we're going to cut out 3 strips of tape that are a little short than 3 inches. So you want to make it just a little bit bigger than it would be the height of the money. And that's going to go in there. So you start your first 2 pieces and stick them together just like that. You're going to take your third piece and you're going to put about half of it on this strip here. Lastly, you're going to take 2 pieces of tape, it really doesn't matter how long they are, and you're just going to stick 1 piece on the side here. And it doesn't matter how long they are because you're just using a segment of tape, it doesn't matter the length of it. Because this is the height of a normal piece of duct tape, so you can just cut out any size you want. So now we got that there, so there, as you can see, there's our pocket on the inside. You're going to arrange it so you want it directly in the center on here. And this should come pretty close or just a little bit less than the actual piece of the flip wallet. So we're sticking this part on this section over here. And then sticking it on this side. And then we're going to flip the whole thing over and we have some sticky sides showing, obviously. We're going to peel that back around and stick it on the back. Just like that. So now we have that pocket for the money. Now we're actually just going to make the band that's going to go directly on top of the bills, which the front part of the bills flip underneath and tuck into. So let's work on that step next. Okay, so now working on the band. The band is going to be exactly the same size as this pocket, which is up here. So you're going to cut out another strip that's exactly that same size. And to really make the band, it's actually quite simple. You're just going to take this piece here and you're going to fold it in half. This can be a little tricky because duct tape doesn't always want to fold in half on itself very well, but it shouldn't be too hard to do. Then you're going to take 1 more strip that's exactly that same size and cut it in half. And if you did it correctly, these strips will be exactly the same size as the strip that you folded in half. Now what I'm going to do here is I actually put the band a little bit below the pocket. If you can see that. Here's the pocket here, and then here's the band. So we're going to put it just a little bit below there. Hold it in place, and then fold this piece back around. And I know this is probably a little difficult to see because there's so many flames going on here, but it should be pretty obvious once I get the money in there how this is working out. And then obviously this piece will stick right over here. If you guys do want to put something here, it's probably best to do this part first because obviously you have all these strips that are folding over on this side. So you probably want to do this step first if you do plan on putting something over here, otherwise it'll overlap a little bit. So like I said before, get it used to being flexed a little bit. Don't let it get stiff on you because otherwise the duct tape will be fighting you all the way if you don't keep flexing it. So what you're going to do is take your money here, just like I have on my other flip wallet. This part goes in the back like this, and then this money obviously gets flipped right inside here, and then just gets folded down and around. It's probably a brand new wallet, so it's going to be a little tricky to get in, but it should work just like that. And you can make this rounded edge right here as well as this piece here by putting another piece of duct tape on top, and that'll probably make it a little bit easier to get in, because sometimes it might get caught in a little bit of the sticky part that's shelling. Plus it isn't very tough, it just has a little, you know, 2 small little edges on there. So you guys can round those edges to make it look a little nicer, and it should aid you in helping you put the money in just as well. So that's how to pretty much make the duct tape flip wallet. So like I said before, that's as far as I'm going to go with the flip wallet. We got our credit card holder over here, and you can do as many of those as you want. Your ID holder in the center, leaving this part open to do whatever you want with it. Coin pouch, you know, business card holder, whatever you want. And then obviously you have your money part here. Since the money comes to about here, you can actually put something on top here if you want, like a name or a design or something like that. And then it will look really cool, and you can add to that as well. So now I'm just gonna touch briefly on how to round all the edges. You're basically going to cut out a whole bunch of strips of tape that are exactly the same size as your pieces here, and you're just going to fold them very carefully back around just like this. There's the bottom piece. Now I cut this piece in half so I can have one for the top. And this is our credit card holder here, so we don't want to mess up that too much. So the credit card holder is there. So we want to peel this back around and stick it down. One thing you definitely do not want to do is cover up this part that folds. So you definitely want this to flip back and forth without much trouble. Don't put too much duct tape over top of here. Do each part separately. So you got this piece here, then do this piece up here, and then do this piece all separately. And same goes with the bottom, because you don't want to put more duct tape over top of that. It'll just, you know, create more trouble for you, and you probably won't be able to flex it as well as you can. After a while, it will loosen up. You'll be able to work with it a lot better, and it will just turn into a really nice wallet that you can carry on, and the added rounded edges will make it last a lot longer because you have all that extra duct tape on the sides, just like this one right here. So that concludes how to make the duct tape flip wallet. Hopefully you guys enjoy this tutorial. It's going to look really nice once some more dragon tape is on there. There will be more tutorials coming to the channel. I have another little intro on a couple different kinds of duct tape coming up, and you guys will see that pretty soon coming to the channel. So hopefully you enjoyed this tutorial, and just stay tuned for more videos in the future. Take care. I'll see you next time.